to Sigma Law Firm with me, Luisa Turnip. Today I would like to talk about how can you purchase land. If you go to YouTube or if you go to Google and search my name, I have quite a few videos that have been speaking about this. I've spoken a little bit about how to conduct or to buy land in Indonesia. However, those videos aren't complete. So I'm going to try to make a little different with this video, a little bit insight and depth, so that you will be equipped with the knowledge that you need to know to avoid high risk and to make the most out of your purchase. So without further ado, let's dive into the essence of this video. When you purchase land in Indonesia, this is the 4 common things that often you will be experienced in the process. Number 1 is the ownership issues. One land, maybe 2, 3, 4 people might claim that they have the ownership over that land. How come? Well, Indonesia have 2, national law and also customary law, and they are both legitimate and they are all forcing in Indonesia. So the customary law is operate a little bit different in the sense that in one area, for example in Sumatra and in Bali, when it comes to divide land and the land that comes from our parents, from our ancestor, from our parent, then customary law has rules or regulations how to conduct the inheritance. So that's why many of lands in Indonesia left unregistered and certificated. So when you come, you found maybe beautiful land somewhere in Sumatra or in Bali, and you have that intent want to buy, then you deal with this issue. I myself have land like that. Well, I'm a woman. In Indonesia, we are patrilineal, specifically in Sumatra, which is the customary law is going to regulate that. So in our culture, it's the man has the right to have land. Of course, there's terms and conditions apply. Women also can have land if the family, but according to the culture, it is the man. So there is the land. The 3 of my brothers share the land. So now you have the picture. If you come to the land, my brother will say, "That's my land. That's our land." That means telling that that land belongs to him, to his brother, with my other brother, and my other brother. And when you come to buy such land, then it becomes challenging. So, if you want to buy land, then you want to make sure to find the right person, the right owner. How can I know the right owner? Then, number 1, doing the due diligence. Doing due diligence, you can hire professionals such as a lawyer or maybe property agent. This might sound a little bit self-serving because I'm a lawyer and I'm mentioning like this, but for your safety, for securing your purchase, you maybe want to consider to hire a professional. So once you find out the real or the owner, then you want to ask, where is the certificate? This brought me to my second point, which is what you will likely experience in the process of purchasing land. Number 2 is certificate. So before was the dispute. It was the dispute of ownership, not necessarily not true, because the customary law one, the land that hasn't yet certificated, it's not because any problem or any trait behind that story why the land doesn't have certificate. It's just simply because they comply, they follow the customary law, and it's been going like that years, 10 years, decades, and they don't have issue and they don't think they have any reason or any urgency to register or to certificate their land. But this one, my point number 2 is the land, it has certificate, but the problem is there are many land has 2, 3, 4 certificates. How is that? Why that happened? That's another discussion. So land might have 2, 3 certificates, and of course definitely only one that is legitimate and valid. So you want to make sure to find the legitimate. The question becomes, how can I identify the legit or the real, the original one? Then that is the job of notary, to identify and to assess which one is the real one. And point number 3 is this. You buy the land and the transferring the money is already all done, but you cannot build that land. Sad. Why is that? It's often because of the area zoning of that place where that land located. So you want to make sure, be clear from the start to your notary, what is your intentions of that land? Is it to build something, or you want for a house or anything? Because often notary doesn't really ask what's the purpose of the land. So it is your part, it is your responsibility to remind your notary clear, so she may help you a little bit to make everything that relating for this purchase of that land serve your interest. My point number 4, and this is something that common happen in Indonesia. When you want to buy the land and the land hasn't yet paid with its tax, so you want to make sure before you close that deal, before you transfer the money, ask about the tax of that land. Is it already paid? And if it's yes, awesome, you move on for the purchase. If it hasn't yet, then how long, how many years? And make sure it's all paid, because then later it's not going to be burdening you after the purchase. So if you haven't bought it yet, maybe what you can propose is ask her or him, the owner, to pay for the tax, or you pay for the tax, but to reduce the price of the land. So that's one of the wise thing to do to make your purchase good and serve your interest. Can foreigner own land in Indonesia? This question is very generic, and the answer is yes. However, your right to have land in Indonesia is not going to be the same as for Indonesian citizen. Means you can only have the leasehold or guna bangunan, where you have the right to build the land or to lease the land for a period of time, which is for 80 years. But in a sense, to own the land and to pass it on to your child, to your grandchildren later on, the way how Indonesian people do, it's not. By Indonesian's agrarian law, you don't have that privilege. You buy land in Indonesia, it's not going to be on your individual, but using company. You want to transform yourself, or you want to incarnate yourself in the form of entity or company, PMA, foreign direct investment, and then through the name of that company, then you can get all this benefit buying the land. Can I use nominee? Me as a lawyer, of course, my answer would say no. Using nominee in Indonesia is illegal. And if you are found by the government that you use nominee, then you will be in charge for criminal liability. I don't think you want to go to that direction, so be careful. So that's it. Few tips for me. I'm Luisa here. If you need some legal consultations regarding purchasing land in Indonesia, I'm more than welcome. You have my contact in the description box. That's for today, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop in the comment section. That's all for you. And also don't forget to give me likes and subscribe to join the community, so next time you will be notified whenever I put a video relating about legal and something about land like this. Thank you again, and I will see you soon on the next video.